In today's video, I want to look at this unique smartphone that has a secondary screen on its rear that is actually customizable with different clock types and a few widgets. It also has a massive 10,100 milliamp hour battery, which makes it a monster. It can easily last a few days. That battery is double the size of an S24 Ultra or an iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's also a large, rugged phone designed to be shockproof and durable for demanding outdoor activities. It even has an action button that can be programmed to do various activities just like the iPhone, so it's very practical, but that display on the rear is so technologically attractive that I just had to check this phone out ASAP. It also happens to have a night vision camera that can see in complete darkness, which is insane. All of this for less than $400 or even cheaper with discounts. Let's see what's going on here. I do want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Doogee. Alright, so I do want to show you guys what you get in the box when you unbox this product. So you do get a lot of stuff to get you started. You get a 33-watt charger. You get an actual user manual. You also get a screen protector and screen protector accessories to apply to your screen. And of course you get the phone. So at least a screen protector and a charger is included as opposed to current day flagship products where you only get the phone and a cable. So that's good value, and believe it or not, you're not going to need a case for a phone like this because it is an impact-proof, rugged smartphone. Anyway, let's dive in and look at some of the details. Alright, so let's do a quick tour around the device, and again, that back display blows me away. I'm going to show you guys the details about that. But we do have a 100 megapixel main camera, and we have a 20 megapixel night vision camera that basically allows you to see in dark. I'm going to show you guys a sample in a second. But beyond that, if you look over here, we have a volume rocker, plus and minus. This is the power button. Also has a built-in fingerprint sensor. At the bottom, we have the USB Type-C port under this cover. And that is just to make sure it is waterproof. And then on the other side, we have something very interesting. We do have an action button, which is customizable, and you can do various things with it, like you can do on the iPhone. It's actually even a little bit better. I'm going to show you that to you as well. But we do have a SIM card tray right over here. On the top, you've got nothing. But you can see overall, it is a rugged design. And it's a very good-looking phone. If you're not into super thin phones, the ruggedness and the design of this thing is quite amazing. In fact, they call this their mecha design. It's inspired by the design of a space capsule. And frankly, it looks quite futuristic, specifically from the rear because of that rear display. Now, from the front, it could have been a little bit better. We do have this teardrop notch. But again, because this is a rugged design and it is not aiming to be super thin, and thinner bezels and stuff like that is not a priority, I can give them a pass. But certainly, as I hold this in my hands, it feels like something unique, something I've never seen before, and that's what I like to see with smartphones. Now, when it comes to design, this design, like I said, is known as the mecha design. And to make this device rugged and highly durable, what they're doing is they're using a 6-layer dragon scale architecture. And you can see the breakdown of that architecture on the screen. So this phone really is designed to handle rough environments by being waterproof, shockproof, and drop-proof. So one of the coolest things about this phone is this real display. It's like a little smartwatch built into the display. It is a 1.32-inch display. It's got a resolution of 466 by 466. It is an AMOLED display. The best part is it is customizable. So look at this. If I swipe down, I can see my battery. Beautiful animation. If I go up, I can go this way. That's going to get me my music player. If I go that way again, I can go to my camera. I can launch it from here and I can control it. I've got my calendar. Okay, so I got these widgets that I can access, quick glance stuff. And if I swipe this way, I can scroll the other way. That's the camera. That's the music player, and that's my clock. The clock itself is customizable. I'm going to show you all the options. And if I swipe up, I am able to access my current notifications. Now, if I click on it, nothing happens. You have to do that on the other side. But this is the main thing right here. Let me show you how this screen can get customized in the main menu. So if I go to my settings, right over here, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go into mini screen. That's what it's called in the menu. So the mini screen can be turned on and off, so it's going to be up to you. But if I want to customize it, look at this. Here's my clock plate. If I tap on it, I am able to pick from all these various clock plates, okay? So if I have this one, if I tap on this one, that is going to be my new clock plate, as you can see. Or I go to my clock plate and I can pick, let's say, let's go to the bottom. Let's say I want to pick this one, okay? And now, that is my new clock. This is incredible customization. And every one of these clock plates, or I can call them watch faces, just looks so nice, okay? And we have many options, and I can also set the screen timeout, so I can have the screen on the rear timeout in 5 seconds, 15, 30, whatever. Doesn't matter because the battery is so large, you can just go crazy with the features. I can change the brightness, as you can see, okay? And I have all these other options. For example, I can have the main screen on while the rear screen is on as well. If I go down here, if somebody calls me, I will get a notification on the little display. Very, very customizable secondary display on the rear. The only thing I wish was here, I wish it was a 120 Hz display. But it's not a big deal because it's not something I use all the time. Okay, beyond that, it is nice and responsive, and I can scroll through all my things easily. We also have the action button right here. Let me show you how cool that is. So right now I have 3 actions assigned to this button. If I just single press, it turns on the flashlight, as you can see. Okay, turn on, turn off. If I double press, it does a screenshot. So double press takes a screenshot, and if I press and hold, it launches an application of my choosing. So that is great. In my settings, I can scroll down and I can go over to the side key, and you can see I can customize each one of these clicks based on my needs. So I can do all these activities, or I can simply open an application of my choice. Fantastic. Now when it comes to the processor, what we have is we have a Dimensity processor. It is the 7050 5G processor, so it's got built-in 5G capability. And if I go to my About phone right here, you can also see we have 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now the RAM itself also has the capability to go up to 20 gigabytes additional RAM. So it's 12 plus 20, 32 gigabytes of total RAM. Now that is going to be virtual RAM that you can set yourself. Okay, as you can see, I can go up to 20. The physical RAM is 12, and then you can have additional 20 virtual RAM. So the performance is going to be great. As you can see, I can easily play games on this thing without any stutter, without any lag. If you try to play the latest games at the highest graphical settings, there might be some stutter, but you can see I can play games like Asphalt 9 Legends easily at 120 Hz without stutter, without lag. So it certainly performs very well. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, but for the price, it is still very fast and it has 5G capability. And it will handle any daily tasks without a problem. And I will let you know, as I play with the phone, as I go back and forth with 120 Hz, there is no stutter, which is insane, okay, for a phone of this price. Zero stutter in my current experience so far. As I launch the applications, it's all nice and smooth. So let's launch a couple apps. You can see nice and smooth. All right. Let's go to Geekbench, see what kind of scores we got in our Geekbench performance. I'm going to go to history, and this is what we have. Single core, almost 1,000. Multi-core, 2,500. So again, great for a phone at this price range. Not only is the phone smooth and responsive, if I go to my settings right over here, and if I go all the way down, you can see we also have the latest version of Android running. So that also means we have security that's up to date. You can see we have a September 1 patch for Google Play, and we have a September 5 patch for Android security. So it is pretty up to date with security, and you can also go over to your privacy and security right over here, and you have access to all the latest security and privacy features that Android 14 offers. So let's talk about that camera. So we do have a 100 megapixel camera, and we also have a night vision camera. Let me quickly give you a sample of the night vision camera that works very well. So look at this. I'm standing in complete pitch black darkness, and if I bring my hand over here, I can actually see it. This is insane that you can do this. You could be outside, you could be stuck someplace, and it could be complete darkness, and this is going to allow you to see what's happening around you. And with the 100 megapixel camera, here's a bunch of shots I want you guys to take a look at. You can see this camera can take some really detailed and crisp photos at 100 megapixel as long as you have good lighting conditions. I'm talking about daylight. It performs very well in daylight conditions to take photos. As far as video is concerned, the video itself looks okay, but the stabilization is not that great. It is electronic image stabilization. There's no optical image stabilization. And you can see the shots are a little bit shaky. So for moving video shots, it's not the camera to look for. There is a 20 megapixel selfie camera on the front, which takes okay shots, but there is a blue hue on the shots. As you can see here, it does do a decent job in good lighting conditions for portrait shots. So let's talk about that battery. It is a massive battery. It is 10,100 milliamp hours. That is like 2 iPhones or 2 Samsung Galaxy S24s. It's a long-lasting battery, and it's got 33-watt fast charging. Now, one of the reasons this phone is larger than regular phones is because of that large battery. But basically, it is easily going to last a day, and in my testing, it actually lasted me 3 days, no problem, with medium use. This is the kind of phone you would take outside on an adventure, and you know the battery is not going to die. So if you're specifically looking for a phone with a large battery, long battery life, this is a great option, especially at the price point. Remember, everybody has different needs for their lifestyle. So let me quickly talk about the display. So if I go to my settings right over here, and if I go to my display, you can see it is going to be 120 hertz display. So again, for a phone at this price point to have 120 hertz, that's amazing. Even the iPhone 16, not the Pro models, but the standard models, still have 60 hertz. So here you can get 60, 90, 120, or you can do adaptive. It's going to be based on you. I would just go with the 120 to keep it nice and responsive. Now, it is a 6.72-inch display. Resolution is 1080 by 2400. And it's a nice and bright display. Let me show you what it looks like outside. Now, you can see visibility outdoors in daytime is great. I'm not under direct sunlight, but it's pretty bright out here, and it looks perfectly fine. I can easily see this display, no problem. Now, we do have a built-in fingerprint sensor. Like I said, it's the power button right here. So if I tap on it, it just logs me right in. Works very well. It's very quick. And you can have multiple fingers assigned to that button on the side. So I think we talked about everything major. This phone has a retail price of only $400 and can be acquired for even less with big discounts. See description below for lowest pricing. So for $400, what are the pros and cons? Here's a list. Pros: we have a massive battery, a unique and customizable secondary display, powerful rugged design, ready to handle harsh environments, waterproof and dustproof, smooth and responsive software and 5G capability with Android 14, clean display, bright enough to be seen easily outdoors. Main 100 megapixel camera takes crisp photos. And here's some cons. The video stabilization is not so good. And also there's no headphone jack, which I would have expected in a practical phone like this. So obviously this phone is not going to have all the flagship features, but that should be obvious. This is a far cheaper smartphone and designed for people with specific needs. If you are in the market for a durable, rugged phone with practical features, this is one of the best. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.